Our first order of business will be roll call, and Kevin, you'll call through who's here.
I will, yeah. If you just verbally say hi, I'm going to go down the list alphabetically here. Carolyn Bartlett.
Morning, everyone.
Lindsay Beeman.
Good morning.
Jenna Cohen.
Hello.
Ethan Downs. Andrew Eccles.
Good morning, folks.
Senator Gelster Blauen. Katie Green.
Good morning.
Representative Hartman.
This is Daniel Mulkey, our Chief of Staff on her behalf.
Thank you. Jimmy Howard. Tiffany Hyde. Belle Lee. Lena Leckleck.
Good morning.
Thought I saw Lena come on.
Yep, sorry, I muted, but I
Yeah. Okay. Lisa Logan.
Good morning.
Grace Bengali. Representative Mannix. Juliana Pidone. Hidea Powell. Rudy Ann Rivera Lindstrom.
Hello, good morning.
Martina Shabram.
Good morning.
Justin Smith.
Present.
Kelly Strawn.
Good morning.
Senator Thatcher. Jennifer Wilson.
Morning.
All right, Katie, yeah, we have quorum.
Great. Okay, well, our first agenda item is to approve our September 26th meeting minutes. I don't know if those are quickly accessible to either Kevin or Rowan to put in the chat. I was just trying to find them on Basecamp to do so, but I couldn't find them. So I just want to give folks those to look at before we vote on that. That's our only consent item though. Great. Thank you, Kevin. Very fast. So we will need a motion to approve the meeting agenda from September 23rd is the date on this document. Can I have a motion for that? Seeing Adea's hand, and is there a second?
Second.
All right. Thank you, Martina. Were we doing this by vote, Kevin? I couldn't actually. We were doing it a little more informally. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't have to go down the list, but if there's any abstentions or dissensions from approving the minutes, please speak up now. All right, minutes are approved by consent.
Great. Okay, folks, we have on our agenda next is sort of a council housekeeping items, and Rowan will take over from there. You're muted, Rowan.
Thank you. I wanted to remind everyone, if you're able to attend on Monday at 9 a.m., the folks from the Prevention Innovations Resource Center will be meeting with us to talk mostly, I'm hoping what they'll do is mostly talk about the beginning of implementation. So they are researchers and they are also folks who've sat on an analogous committee in their home state. So they know the kind of work that you're doing and some of the challenges that came up. One of the things I think would be really helpful is if they share their information and experience working with IRBs. So we're hoping to be able to record that session. I'm not sure at this point if we will be able to or not, but hopefully we will. And then I am sorry, I don't have the agenda open. Is there anything else I'm supposed to mention? I think that was it.
You were also supposed to introduce Lena.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Lena, and we want to welcome Lena Leschlecht. And Lena, if I mispronounce your name, please forgive me and correct me.
No, Lesh is perfect.
Okay, great, thank you. Lena works with the Oregon Sexual Assault Task Force and is subbing in for us for Carly while Carly is off visiting penguins. Lena, would you like to say just a few words about your position and kind of what you do so we can so you could share a little bit about your background with folks?
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah, so Lesh, she, her, L pronouns. I'm the campus advocate coordinator at the task force. So I work really closely with Carly. And in my role, I work specifically with our campus confidential advocates.
Lena, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Your mic is very, very low volume.
I'm so sorry about that. Is that a little bit better or no? Okay. Okay.
I had this issue yesterday. It was like a speaker versus a microphone issue on my input.
What's happening? Let me pause and go get a better microphone, and then if we could table this for the next 5 minutes or so.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Okay. Well, we will come back to Lena kind of explaining her role at the Sexual Assault Task Force, maybe at the end of the meeting. Our next agenda items are just updates from our subcommittees. So our first update will be coming from the language subcommittee. And I'm gonna go ahead and call on Ms. Martina, if you don't mind, to give our language subcommittee update, especially because you just you did something yesterday. You got us something yesterday. So I figured you'd be a good one to give the update.
Sure, yeah. So Language Committee is plugging away, working towards having some clarity around shared definitions and shared language, both for the sort of the participant-facing portion of the survey and also for the ways that we are communicating more broadly about this survey to all of the constituents, et cetera. So we've also had a couple lovely chances to talk with the actual survey question writing committee, and I believe we're going to get to do so again to have that collaborative back and forth. One thing that we are working on is a little bit of like an overview or a primer on just some basic trauma-informed principles. So we have a draft of that hopefully the language subcommittee will be able to review collectively and share out sooner rather than later. It got a little longer than I intended it to be. I'm not gonna lie about that one. So please let us know if there are elements of trauma-informed principles that you have questions about or that you're really hoping to have some guidance about. If you would like to share that with me or with Rowan, who can send it along, that would be really helpful. Or if there's any bits that you are like, please, we already all know the definition of trauma. You don't need to include that. That's also useful to know. We're not exactly sure how much to include at all moments, but better to have too much than not enough. And I think that's most of my update. Did I miss anything, other subcommittee members? No,
I think
great.
so. Yeah. And this document, this trauma-informed principles, has not been shared to Basecamp just yet. Is that right? But that's the intent that we will put this on Basecamp?
Yeah, we wanted to give it a quick review of all three of us before we shared it, just to make sure, nothing that I wrote is horribly misspelled or inaccurate, and that everybody's expertise gets to go in there. But we will share it out to Basecamp as soon as possible. And we know that there are other folks who are on this committee who also have expertise in this area. Maybe most of the folks on this committee do. So this can also be something that we add to collectively as a whole group.
I'm muted. Okay, our next subcommittee we're going to hear from is the Outreach Committee. Is Jimmy Howard here? I don't see that he is.
I don't think Jimmy is. I'm on that committee. I could probably speak a bit to our
Fantastic. Thank you,
draft
Dustin.
document that we sent.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we sent a draft outreach plan for the sexual misconduct survey to sort of reach out to institutions of higher education, let them know what's going on, sort of get them prepared for the survey. And so this is sort of our draft plan. So we want to send out a sort of a series of outreach, right? The first would include things about preparation, things they might need to do on their campus in order to be prepared. Thinking about like even things like what system might be appropriate for them to use to deploy the survey on their campus, how they might partner with other people on their campus in order to get better response rates, right? Tips like that. And then also some stuff for implementation and engagement. So once the survey rolls out, how can you implement that on your campus and get be effective in getting it sent out to everyone, getting good response rates? How can you incentivize that? Let's see. And then I think with 3 and 4, we were sort of depending on how far the committee continues to go, right? If we continue to meet after the survey has been deployed and all of those things. So 3 and 4 are sort of that level, right? So monitoring people's progress along the way, maybe providing them with, oh, I forgot, a webinar maybe at the beginning to help prepare people. So that would have been in section 1, sorry, preparation. I got ahead of myself. Yeah, and then if we want to continue to meet after that, so that was something that we wanted to discuss sort of at large. So right now we're working on compiling a university email list of not only Title IX coordinators, but other administrators and campus partners that might be appropriate to share this information with and help get campuses ready. Setting up right sort of newsletter software, which I think, do we have a template now, Rowan? Is that's good? We were
Yes.
close.
Yeah. In fact, what I was, yeah, we have a template. We actually have a few articles as well that have been vetted by HEC. So we're hoping that if it's okay, that the newsletter is going to go out with kind of a third person sort of mix of SMSC and HEC kind of authorship. So if you're interested in seeing the articles as they are now, they're in the Outreach Committee subfolder. There's a folder called SMSC Newsletter. And there's just a few little introductory things.
Yeah, so we're hoping that that newsletter will be really helpful to institutions to help them get a better understanding of the purpose of the survey, and sort of the goal, right? Let's see, and then after we have that sort of set up, right, we will hope to initiate contact with institutions and sort of set up maybe some initial trainings or webinars to give them some more information about what the survey looks like, how they could be successful. And then, like I said, after that, maybe just talking about like post-survey meetings. Are we going to continue to meet and help assist institutions that way? So I think that was all we had.
Great. Any feedback on that or points of discussion from other committee members? Okay. All right. Well, I think that I will turn to our next subcommittee, which is our survey writing subcommittee. And I don't know who's been tasked with giving the update for this committee. It just says committee chairs. Day, I know you're one, so I will ask you if you're the volunteered person or if someone else is.
I think Caroline led it this time, so I'll let her continue to
Okay,
lead.
great.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Adea. Please jump in if I miss anything. Right now, we're really focusing on breaking down the survey into sections so that we have a doable amount of labor, and just really looking at how we want to frame questions based on the base survey that we have selected to build off of. So most recently, we've been really looking at the demographics and making sure that both comparing it to the requirements, while also being thoughtful of the number of questions we're asking and ensuring that we are asking questions a way that we're getting the information we actually need. So we've been looking at demographics, and then we'll be moving on to larger sections of the survey next to just stay in alignment with our timeline. That is a very wide overview. Any other details anyone would like to share?
I think just maybe mentioning that we're really hoping that at the next survey writing committee that the language subcommittee folks will be able to meet with them as well, because we really want to nail down the definitions within sexual misconduct. So we have a whole bunch of stuff that's listed as sexual misconduct, but definitions for things like what do we mean by sexual exploitation, and how are we going to define domestic violence? And that will help in the writing of questions about those. The topics themselves, it won't say sexual harassment, sexual assault in the survey, but again, those questions written that meet the definition of those terms, then we can tell colleges and universities these questions fit under these terms. So when you're doing your analysis, you can use those.
Thank you, Rowan.
And I think, Kevin, did you sent out a meeting request for that yesterday?
I did, yeah, and I sent it out to both committee members. So yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I think could go back. Lena, are you still with us? Yes, I see you there.
I am, but I don't know if my microphone will be better. Okay, I'm gonna call in from my phone.
It's a little better.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know. I'm always happy to call in from my phone. I was just about to do that, and then I heard you call my name. So I am the campus advocate coordinator at the task force. I work with our confidential advocates on campuses across the state, doing training and technical assistance. I also manage, for those of you who have colleagues on campus who have taken our 40-hour campus advocacy course. I manage that course. Just published a campus advocacy manual that went out to schools online. And yeah, I work in close collaboration with Carly and miss her. It is an honor to step in for her, yeah, in this meeting.
Which subcommittee? Oh, a lot of people are writing they can't hear anything. Still sounds really far away.
I'm sorry. I can type it in the chat too.
Okay. Lena, well, actually, Rowan or Kevin, what subcommittee is Lena on? Is she on the outreach subcommittee?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. That job. Okay. Well, we did not have a particularly long agenda for this meeting, so I guess I'll open it up to if there's anything that any of the committee members would like to raise at this time that's not on the agenda. This would be a fine time to do so. Otherwise, we've exhausted our agenda items for this morning. Is there anything that needs to be brought to the council's attention or topics of concern? Okay, I'm seeing none and hearing none in the chat. So I think we will adjourn for today. Hopefully this was efficient and you can all have a great rest of your Thursday. So we are adjourned.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
folks. Take care.